The porcelain cup slipped from Lena's fingers, shattering against the hardwood floor in a spray of jagged shards and lukewarm coffee. Her wide eyes locked on mine, her lips parted in a silent gasp, as if my words had sliced through her chest. Practicing for when you're gone. I repeated, my voice low, venomous, each syllable dripping with the weight of months spent unraveling her lies. The air in our cramped kitchen felt thick, suffocating. The faint hum of the refrigerator the only sound daring to break the silence. It started with a text. Not even a suspicious one, just a name, Elliot, flashing on her phone at 2 a.m. while she slept, her face bathed in the soft glow of the screen. I'd ignored it at first, chalking it up to a coworker, a friend, a nobody. But the name lingered, a splinter under my skin. Over weeks it appeared again. Elliot, meet me at 7. Elliot, you free tonight? Each message was a pinprick, small enough to dismiss but sharp enough to fester. I didn't confront her. Not then. I told myself I was paranoid, that love didn't breed suspicion. But love, I learned, can blind you to the truth until it's screaming in your face. Lena's hands trembled as she knelt to gather the broken pieces of the cup, her breath hitching. James, what are you talking about? Her voice was soft, pleading, but there was a crack in it, a tremor that betrayed her. I leaned against the counter, arms crossed, my heart pounding like a war drum. The kitchen smelled of burnt toast and her lavender perfume. A scent that once comforted me, but now felt like a lie clinging to the air. Don't, I said, my tone flat, final. Don't play dumb. I saw the messages. I saw the pictures. Her head snapped up, her face paling as if I'd drained the blood from her body. The photos weren't explicit, not damning in a courtroom sense, but they were intimate. Her and Elliot at a dimly lit bar, her hand on his arm, her smile too warm, too unguarded. Another of them in a park, her head tilted against his shoulder, the autumn leaves framing them like some romantic postcard. I found them buried in a hidden folder on her phone. A digital vault of secrets she thought I'd never crack. But suspicion is a relentless thief, stealing sleep, reason, trust. I'd cracked it 2 nights ago, my hands shaking as I scrolled through her betrayal. I can explain, she whispered, her voice barely audible, her fingers clutching a shard so tightly it drew a thin line of blood. She didn't notice. I did. The sight of it, red against her pale skin, twisted something in my gut. Part of me wanted to kneel beside her, to bandage her hand, to pretend this was all a misunderstanding. But another part, darker and louder, wanted to scream, to shatter more than just a cup. Then explain, I said, my voice cold, though inside I was unraveling. Doubt not at me. What if I was wrong? What if I'd misread the signs? Turned innocent moments into a narrative of betrayal? But the signs were there, weren't they? The late nights at work, the sudden password on her phone, the way her laughter felt forced when we talked about our future. I'd rationalized it all. Stress, she said, just stress. But the truth had been clawing its way to the surface, and now it was here, raw and undeniable. Lena stood, dropping the shard, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Elliot's just a friend, she said, her voice steadier now, as if she'd rehearsed this. We've been working on a project together. You know how demanding my job is. Her words were plausible, polished, but they felt like a script. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But the way her gaze darted to the side, the way her fingers twisted the hem of her sweater, told a different story. A friend. I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound that echoed off the tiled walls. You don't laugh like that with friends, Lena. You don't hide photos of friends. I stepped closer, my shadow falling over her, and she flinched. Not from fear of me, I realized, but from the truth I was dragging into the light. Tell me, I said, my voice breaking despite myself. When did it start? How long have you been lying? She shook her head, tears spilling now, streaking her cheeks. It's not what you think, she said, her voice cracking. I swear, James, it's not. But her words were flimsy, a house of cards collapsing under the weight of my stare. I wanted to grab her, shake her, demand the truth, but my hands stayed clenched at my sides, nails digging into my palms. The pain grounded me, kept me from falling apart. Then what is it? I asked, quieter now, almost pleading. Because I've spent months convincing myself I'm crazy, that you'd never do this. But I'm not crazy, am I? My voice rose, trembling with the rage and hurt I'd bottled up for too long. I trusted you. I built my whole world around you, and you. I stopped, choking on the words, my throat tight with the ache of betrayal. Lena sank into a chair, her hands covering her face, sobs shaking her shoulders. The kitchen felt smaller now, the walls closing in, the air heavy with the scent of coffee and regret. I didn't mean for it to happen, she whispered, her voice muffled. It was just, he was there when I felt alone. You were always working, always distant. I didn't know how to reach you. Her words hit like a punch, not because they were cruel but because they held a shard of truth. I had been distant, consumed by my job, by the pressure to provide for the life we'd planned. But that didn't justify this. It didn't erase the nights I'd lain awake, wondering why she felt so far away even when she was right beside me. So you turned to him? I asked, my voice raw. You let him in, let him take what was ours. It wasn't like that, she said, looking up, her eyes red, desperate. It was a mistake. A moment. I stopped it before it went too far. But her words were hollow, and we both knew it. A moment was too much. A moment was everything. The silence stretched, taut and unbearable. I wanted to forgive her, to rewind time, to unsee those photos, unfeel this pain. But trust, once broken, doesn't mend clean. I turned away, my gaze landing on the shattered cup, its pieces scattered like the fragments of our life together. I need time, I said finally, my voice barely above a whisper. I can't do this right now. As I walked out, her sob followed me, sharp and piercing, but I didn't turn back. The door clicked shut behind me, and the cold night air hit my face, carrying the faint scent of rain. I stood there alone, the weight of her betrayal pressing down. And then I heard it, a soft ping from my phone. A message from an unknown number. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. She deserves better. Attached was a photo. Lena and Elliot, kissing, the timestamp from last night. My knees buckled, the world tilting as the final piece of truth slammed into place. She hadn't stopped it. She'd lied even now. The cold wasn't just outside anymore. It was in me, permanent, unyielding. I'd been practicing for when she was gone, but she was already someone else's.